Good afternoon to one and all. I am R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Chevron Engineering College. Today in this class I am going to explain the types of solids. So what are the types of solids, and I will give you a brief explanation on it. And this is my 7th class regarding to the metallurgy and material science subject. In the earlier class we have seen about the classification of solids, and in this class we are going to see the types of solids. So there are 3 types of solids generally. First one is the amorphous solid, polycrystalline solid, and last one is the crystalline solid. These are the 3 types of solids. So in the picture you can see the types of solids there. The first one is the amorphous solid. So in the amorphous solid you can see the little amount of grains which is arranged in the random manner. So that is, the space is very high in these amorphous solids. So these are the molecules arranged in a randomly arranged manner. So these are all the different gaps here. So this is all the gaps between 2 atoms. And when it comes to the polycrystalline solids, so in the polycrystalline solids the grains are arranged, the atoms in the grains are arranged in the orderly manner. So you can see it, this is a grain and this is also a grain and this is another grain, and these are different types of grains. So these are the different types of grains, and there is a grain boundary for 2 grains. So for 2 grains there is a grain boundary. So this is the grain boundary there. So this is the grain boundary. So and the atoms are arranged in the orderly manner. You can see the orderly arranged atoms in the grains. So you can see the atoms clearly arranged in the grains. So that is the structure of polycrystalline. And when it comes to the crystalline solids, they have no grain boundaries, only atoms are arranged in the orderly manner. So they are arranged in the ordered manner. So you can see the atoms arranged in the parallel. So parallelly they are arranged in the orderly manner. So there is a group of atoms which is presented at the crystalline solids. So these are the 3 different types of solids. So first one is the amorphous solid, second one is the polycrystalline solid, and third one is the crystalline solid. So this is also the microstructure of the crystal, gas, glass and gaseous state. So the crystal is in the solid state and glass in the semi-liquid state and gas in the gaseous state. So these are the 3 different types of components here. So in the solid state, the crystals are arranged in the orderly manner. You can see the hexagonal structure in each and every solid, that is equally distributed and arranged in the orderly manner. But in the glass section, so that is in the glass section, that is not arranged in the orderly manner, and the size of the atoms also varies. So you can see a small atom here and this is a large atom, but in the crystal there is all the same size of atoms and is orderly arranged. But here in the glass there is a small atoms arranged and these are not orderly arranged. So there is a group of small and large atoms. And coming to the gaseous state, the molecules are arranged in the randomly manner. So not a structure in its microstructure. So there is no arrangement of the atoms. A freely arranged atoms is present in the gaseous state. So these are the three types of states. So when coming to the first one, crystalline solids, these crystalline solids have distinctive internal structures that in turn lead to the distinctive flat surfaces or faces. So these crystalline solids have a definite flat structure. So that is the equation here. So it it has a distinctive flat surfaces or faces. Next, the flat surfaces or faces intersect at angles that are characteristics of the substance. So they are arranged in the flat surfaces only. Then when exposed to the X-rays, each structure also produces a distinctive pattern that can be used to identify the material. So when it is exposed to the X-rays also, these X-rays, this structure produces a distinctive pattern which is used to identify the material of the solid. So that is a basic structure. Next, the characteristics angles do not depend on the size of the crystal. So these angles do not say depends upon the size, but they reflect the regular repeating arrangement of the component atoms, molecules, or ions in space. So these are also arranged in the component atoms, molecules, or ions in space. So that is about the characteristics angles. The best example for the amorphous solids are, so second one is the amorphous solids. The best example for the amorphous solids are gases. So in these gases, these amorphous solids are not stable state for most purely metals. So when it comes to the pure metals, they are not stable in the amorphous solids. And next one is they cannot, these can be formed by very rapid cooling, that is 106 kelvins per second. So it has a very rapid cooling of 106 kelvins per second. That is a very rapid cooling compared to the other sections of solids. They are formed by very rapid cooling also. Next, it can be readily formed from many metal alloys, semiconductors, oxides, especially at low temperatures. So generally these amorphous solids can be formed at the low temperatures only. So when it is cool, it can be readily formed from any metal alloys. That is, many metal alloys can be formed during these amorphous solids. Next, these can be generally very less in dense than crystalline materials. So these amorphous solids are very less density than the crystalline solids. So the basic density of the crystalline solids is more than the amorphous solids. Next, no crystalline defects since no crystal structure. So there is no defects on the crystalline structure because it is in amorphous state. Next, no ordered structure to the particles of solids. So there is no ordered between the particles of the solids in the amorphous solids. Then no well-defined faces, angles or shapes. So there is no well-defined faces, angles, or shapes in the amorphous solids, and they are oftenly mixed by the molecules which do not stack together well, or large flexible molecules. So they do not stuck together, and these examples would include the glass and rubber. So the best examples for the amorphous solids are, which includes the glass and rubber. So glass and rubber are the best examples of the amorphous solids. Next, these amorphous solids have two characteristics properties. So generally amorphous solids include two characteristic properties. So first one is the when cleaved or broken, they produce fragments with irregular, often curved surfaces. So when it is used to break, they produce the with the irregular surfaces or curved surfaces, and they have poorly defined patterns when exposed to the X-rays because their components are not arranged in a regular array. So these amorphous solids are arranged in a random way, so they are exposed due to the X-rays also. Next, in the amorphous solids, translucent solid is called a glass. So these translucent solid is called as glass in the amorphous solids, and almost any substance can solidify in amorphous form if the liquid phase is cooled rapidly enough. So in the earlier slide we have studied about the rapid cooling of the amorphous solid in the room temperature. So the rapid cooling has the most good characteristics for the amorphous solids. Next, some solids, however, are intrinsically amorphous because either their components cannot fit together well enough to form a stable crystalline lattice. So they are not formed by the crystalline lattice. So they contain the impurities which disturb the లాటిస్ స్ట్రక్చర్. సో ఈ లాటిస్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ని మొత్తం కూడా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉంటదమ్మా ఈ అమర్ఫస్ సాలిడ్స్ కి వచ్చేసరికి. సో క్రిస్టలైన్ సాలిడ్స్ లోకి వచ్చేసరికి మనకి ఒక ప్యాటర్న్ లో ఫామ్ అవుతాయి మనకి. సో ప్యాటర్న్ లో ఫామ్ అవుతాయి కాబట్టి సో దాని యొక్క స్ట్రక్చర్ కానీ లేకపోతే షేప్ కానీ ఇవన్నీ క్లియర్ గా డిఫైన్ అవుతాయి. కానీ అమర్ఫస్ సాలిడ్స్ కి వచ్చేసరికి ఎలాంటి డెఫినేషన్ ఉండదు. సో ఎలా పడితే అలా ర్యాపిడ్ గా ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. సో కూలింగ్ కూడా చాలా ఫాస్ట్ గా అవుతుంది. అంటే మోల్టన్ మెటల్ నుంచి మనకి సో అంటే లిక్విడ్ స్టేట్ నుంచి సాలిడ్ స్టేట్ కి వచ్చేసరికి చాలా ఫాస్ట్ గా కూడా కూలింగ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు దీన్ని అమర్ఫస్ సాలిడ్స్ ని. Next, for example, although the chemical composition and the basic structural units of a quartz crystal and quartz glass are the same. సో క్వార్ట్జ్ అనే మెటీరియల్ మీరు వాచెస్ లో చూస్తుంటారమ్మా. సో మీకు వాల్ క్లాక్స్ కానీ వీటిలో ఏంటంటే కింద మనకి క్వార్ట్స్ అని ఉంటుంది. క్వార్ట్స్ అంటే అదొక మెటీరియల్ టైప్ అని అర్థం మనకి. క్వార్ట్జ్ అనేది ఒక మెటీరియల్ టైప్ అమ్మ మనకి. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ది యూనిట్స్ ఆఫ్ క్వార్ట్జ్ క్రిస్టల్ అండ్ quartz glass. So these both are same, quartz crystal and quartz glass. So quartz అనేది ఒక మెటీరియల్. సో both are silicon oxide, and both consists of linked silicon oxide tetrahedra. So silicon oxide tetrahedra, the arrangement of the atoms in this space are not. సో బోత్ కన్సిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ సిలికాన్ ఆక్సైడ్. సో రెండిట్లో కూడా మనకి క్వార్ట్జ్ క్రిస్టల్ లో కానీ క్వార్ట్జ్ గ్లాస్ లో కానీ రెండిట్లో కూడా మనకి సిలికాన్ ఆక్సైడ్ అనేది ఒక కామన్ మెటీరియల్ అనేది కనిపించింది. సో మనకి ఈ ఆక్సైడ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ పెరిగే కొద్దీ టెట్రాహెడ్రా ఎలిమెంట్స్ వస్తాయి. సో అదే SiO4. సో అరేంజ్మెంట్స్ మొత్తం కూడా మనకి ఆటమ్స్ యొక్క స్పేస్ ని బట్టి ఉంటుందమ్మా. ఆటమ్స్ యొక్క స్పేస్ ని బట్టి ఉంటుంది. Next, classification of the solids based on bonding. So based on the bonding type, we are going to classify the solids. So basically solids are classified according to the what bonds or forces are responsible for holding the material in the solid state. సో సాలిడ్ స్టేట్ లో మనకి ఒక మెటీరియల్ ని హోల్డ్ చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు సో వాట్ ఆర్ ది బాండ్స్ ఆర్ ఫోర్సెస్ రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ ఫర్ ఇట్. సో అట్లా రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ అయిన బాండ్స్ ని ఫోర్సెస్ మొత్తాన్ని కూడా ఈ క్లాసిఫికేషన్ లో చూసుకుంటున్నాం. సో ఫస్ట్ కోవాలెంట్ బాండింగ్. సో కోవాలెంట్ బాండింగ్ ఈజ్ స్ట్రాంగర్ దాన్ ది అదర్ బాండ్స్. నెక్స్ట్ అయానిక్ బాండింగ్ or metallic bonding. This is moderate in structure and van der Waals bonds are weaker in sections. Next, the solid types includes ionic solids, covalent solids, metallic solids and molecular solids. So these are formed by the hydrogen bonding by the movement of dipole attractions which is called as London forces. సో ఈ సాలిడ్ టైప్స్ మొత్తాన్ని కూడా మనం బాండింగ్ నేమ్స్ లోనే పిలుస్తాం. సో కోవాలెంట్ బాండింగ్ తో వచ్చేది మొత్తం కూడా మనకి కోవాలెంట్ సాలిడ్స్ వస్తుంది. అయానిక్ బాండింగ్ ద్వారా వచ్చేది మొత్తం కూడా అయానిక్ సాలిడ్స్. నెక్స్ట్ మెటాలిక్ బాండింగ్ ఈజ్ విత్ ది మెటాలిక్ సాలిడ్స్ అండ్ లాస్ట్ వన్ మాలిక్యులర్ సాలిడ్స్ బై van der Waals బాండింగ్. సో ఇవన్నిటిని కలిపి మనకి లండన్ ఫోర్సెస్ అంటున్నారు. First one is the ionic solids. So these ionic solids consists of an ion which is interlaced to form a 3D array of ions. So these ion consists of a positive and negative elements which is interlaced to form a 3D array of ions. So these ionic solids by definitions are solids composed of oppositely charged ions. So these are the oppositely charged ions which composed of oppositely charged ions. Next, they consist of positively charged cations and negatively charged anions. So they consist of two types, that is the positively charged cations and negatively charged anions. When ionic solids are dissolved in water, the cations and the anions separate. So these cations and anions are separated in the dissolved water and they become free to move about in the water, allowing a solution to conduct electrical current. So they also allows the water the solution to conduct electrical current also. So these are about the ionic solids. So basically ionic solids have two types of forms, that is positive and negative forms, and they are composed of oppositely charged ions and they consist of positively charged cations and negatively charged anions. So they are free to move in the water, allowing the solution to conduct electric currents. So these are the ionic solids, and these ionic solids can be composed of simple ions as seen sodium chloride. So the sodium chloride is the best example for the ionic solids. Sodium plus chlorine solution. And the ionic solids can also be composed of polyatomic ions as seen in the ammonium nitrate, that is NH4NO3. Here we see them individually, that is as NH4 plus and NO3 minus. And these ionic solids have ions at the points of the lattice that characterize the structure of the solids. So they have the different points of the lattice that characterize the structure of the solids also. And the basic examples include the sodium chloride, calcium peroxide, sodium 2s, that is the basic ions, and NaNO3, potassium sulfate, K2SO4, and magnesium, and others. So these are the different types of examples for the ionic solids. Next one is the covalent bonds. So these covalent solids are substances with covalent bonds that extends throughout a crystalline solid, and sometimes the entire crystal is held by very strong forces. So generally covalent bonds are very strong bonds compared to the ionic and metallic bonds. And in a covalent solid, the entire solid is held together with covalent bond. So the entire solid is held together by this covalent bond only. And the best example for the covalent bond is diamond. So of all the materials which we have, diamond is the most strongest crystalline structure. So diamond has a very strong crystalline structure. So that is of a typical covalent solid only. Next, all the carbon atoms are bonded together with covalent solids. So these carbon atoms are bonded with the covalent salts only. Then an example of the network covalent salts are two allotropes of carbon, diamond, and graphite. So these carbon, diamond, and graphite are the good network, has a good network covalent solids structure which has two allotropies. So which has two allotropies. Next, diamonds have each carbon atom bonded to four other atoms in a tetrahedral fashion or network. So these diamonds has a very good structure, very good strong structure in it. So it is bonded to four other atoms, so that is four other carbon atoms, four other carbon atoms, and it is used in the structure of tetrahedral network. And many polymers are also covalent solids. So when we see about the polymers structure, these polyethylenes also comes under the covalent solids only. So that is of covalent type. And types of solids in the metals. So when coming to the metals are those elements that are on the left of the periodic chart. So in the periodic charts, the left side of the structure comes to the metallic phase, and this includes the lanthanides and actinides at the usually shown at the bottom of the chart. And the metal bond explains the metal properties. So it explains basically two properties. First one is the metals conduct electricity easily since the electrons are very mobile. So these electrons are very mobile in structure. So these metals can conduct electricity easily. Then second one, metals are ductiles in shape, and since the binding electrons can move easily to accommodate the distortion. To accommodate the distortion, it can also be binding electrons. So these metals are ductile in shape, and binding electrons can move easily to the accommodate distortion. So this is the functions of metals. And for the molecular solids, the forces responsible for the formation of the solid phase are the weak forces. So generally the molecular forces are weak forces, and it consists of the hydrogen bonding or dipole-dipole attractions, which is also called as London forces. Which is also called as London forces. So these molecular solids are responsible for the formation of solid phase, and which are the weak forces of the hydrogen bonding and dipole-dipole attractions. So these are also called as the London forces. And these metals have, the metal bondings have generally two properties. So it consists of the two properties in which metals can conduct the electricity easily since the electrons are very mobile in structure. So these electrons are very mobile in structure, and these can conduct the electricity easily. And second one, these metals are ductile in shape since the binding electrons have move easily to accommodate the distortion. So to accommodate the distortion between the metals, these are ductile in shape since the binding electrons can move easily in the accommodation. And these molecular solids, the forces are also responsible for the formation of solid phase only. So these are called as weak forces, and the bonding between the sections are called as hydrogen bonding or dipole-dipole attractions. These are also called as the London forces, that is van der Waals bondings. So this is all about the types of solids in metals and covalent bonds, ionic solids, and different types of solid bondings. So this is all about the introduction of the metallurgy, which we can find the different types of solids, liquids and gases, and different types of the crystalline structures. So based upon the crystalline structures of amorphous, polycrystalline and crystalline structures, these can be formed. So thank Thank you.